Hello Aquarius, so I'm doing your reading for September 2025 just to make you all aware that there has been someone out there who's been cloning my channel multiple times across multiple of their own channels, which is lovely. So please do make sure that you're watching this reading on my channel, which is Phoenix Keia Tarot. Okay, if the channel name says anything different than that, then you're watching from the cloned channel. Okay, so that's enough of that. Your spirit animal guidance message is the Swan and Grace. Beautiful. And it says, "You who glide across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty." So this one says, everything that you do this month, Aquarius, do it from a place of grace, do it from a place of love, okay? Now, you can see here that there's a white swan and a black swan, which would indicate the yin and the yang, okay, the polarizations. So this could be a situation concerning love, romance, twin flame energies. Again, I know not everybody does subscribe to the whole twin flame dynamics. It's absolutely fine, okay? Whatever label you prefer to put on it, twin flame, soulmate, whatever, okay? This one indicates that there is a strong connection here between yourself and another, and that you've to remain graceful and humble. Okay, so strongest overall energy. This one is interesting. Obedience, customs, rules and authority, contracts, karma and justice energy. Okay, so it's not saying, oh my God, Aquarius, you better sit down and do exactly what you're told. Right, it's not about that. This is about harmony, justice, karmic rewards, okay? And again, the word karma and karmic, they do tend to get thrown around quite a lot, don't they? And they get thrown around by certain people who don't actually know what the words mean, which is so utterly grating and frustrating. So karmic, karma, those words are not inherently bad, okay? It means soul lesson. Soul lesson. So the karmic balance of a situation, possibly to do with a strong connection that you have with another person here, a strong bond to another. The karmic scales are balancing out, okay? This one also says to, let's say, for example, if you're traveling, if you're visiting someone's home, if you're visiting a foreign country, just traveling and visiting in general, to observe and adhere to those particular customs, okay? You'll all know what it's like yourself when you accept visitors into your literal, actual home, and then they start, I don't know, doing shit like putting their feet up on the coffee table, and they still got their goddamn shoes on, right? Stuff like that. Stubbing out a cigarette on your kitchen windowsill. All of those things have actually happened to me, by the way, like for real. I'm giving you real life examples here, right? Shit like that, massively disrespectful, right? So if someone is in your space, in your home, doing shit like that, that is disrespectful to you, Aquarius, to put your foot down, right? And there are ways and means of doing that while remaining, you know, humble and graceful and, do you know what I mean, non-abrasive. Although, to be honest, some people, let's not elaborate further on that particular sentence, shall we? When someone is being disrespectful, there are non-abrasive ways of which you can stand up for yourself. Let's just put it that way. And then vice versa, okay? If you're visiting anyone, if you're visiting any sort of like foreign countries, anything like that, observe customs and practices. And just, you know, being pleasant, cordial, that sort of thing. So that's the strongest overall energy. Main message here, I feel, the karmic situations, that soul lesson situation, is balancing out. I feel like something's being put right here, Aquarius, okay? So, the situation itself, the High Priestess of Spirit. Now, you could be dealing with a Gemini, or you might have strong Geminian placements in your own chart. Either way, there are connections here to that particular reading, so you might want to go check that out too. It says something profound is brewing. You'll know the what very soon, but maybe not the why. Okay, so it's answers of sorts. This one is closure of sorts that's coming in for you, Aquarius. Interesting. Let's take a deeper dive into that one. And then, of course, we will look at your internal world, your internal energies, your blind spot, what is working against you and what is working for you as well. Okay, all of that in due course. While I'm clarifying this one for you, Aquarius, I do need to let you guys know about my fantastic sponsors, Otter Spirit. They've been sponsors of ours for quite a while now. They're absolutely fantastic. The information for them should be scrolling along the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and it's in my description box below. What do? They make beautiful healing bracelets. They have just released a brand new collection, the Chakra collection. And this month I had to go for the Root Chakra collection because that's what I felt I needed the most at this point in time. There's a 20% discount code off all Otter Spirit purchases. Again, information below. Right. So let's clarify this message for you, this High Priestess of Spirit. Okay, so what is it that's brewing for Aquarius? What is this situation? Can you tell us more about this situation? Oh, okay. Nice. The Four of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Moon. The situation that's brewing is someone is finally acknowledging their deep feelings here. Okay, I'm understanding this energy as someone is taking controlled action on their feelings, which is very different from just someone acting through an emotional response. Okay, and it's strange that I'm getting that energy off of this Knight of Wands, because it's one of those things I don't normally get controlled action with the Knight of Wands, because Knight of Wands is very spontaneous. Do you know what I mean? But I have to read within context, right? And the context is the messages we've already seen coming out of your read. This is someone, either you or someone else, acknowledging their feelings, taking action on their feelings, but doing it in a way that is quite rational, quite controlled. Yeah, Knight of Swords under there, speaking the truth, being direct. So that's where that controlled energy was coming from then. I didn't even see that one. The Knight of Swords was hiding at the bottom of that deck. And the Knight of Swords is definitely more direct and articulate than a Knight of Wands. So that this is someone who's being led by their passions here. They're not being controlled by their passions and their feelings. Okay, they're acknowledging them, which I really like that, because most people, when they feel that sort of moon energy, they tend to shy away from it or hide away from it. But this is clearly someone facing a situation that is previously kept them afraid to a certain degree, and they're like, do you know what, I'm no longer going to be afraid. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to say what I need to say, because then once it's out, it's done, and then there's nothing else to be afraid of. Okay, and it does feel a lot like I don't want to say confessions of love, because the word confessions can imply something wrong. right? It's just my personal preference not to use the word confessions, but I'm struggling to think of a better word for it right now. Okay, so let's just go with confessions of love, confessions of how someone truly, truly feels. And then you've got the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. That's literally coming out of the comfort zone, like in a nutshell. That could be you, that could be someone else, Aquarius, okay? You're going to know better what side of the table you're sitting on for this one. Okay, but that, honestly, that's someone coming out of their comfort zone. And the thing is that they've been trying to ignore their feelings, but here we are, feelings of one. Okay, what's going on in your internal world? Choices. Every choice has a consequence. Even thoughts are like magnets, either for good or bad, and not making a choice is still a choice itself. And you can see how spooky. Can you see what's going on now with this energy? So you had the two different swans, and now you've got the two different wings. Yeah. There's something deeply, deeply spiritual here that's going on with this energy, for certain. So in your inner world, recognizing that you not making a choice at all was still making a choice. I feel, Aquarius, that this is likely going to be you that is on the precipice of breaking your silence. And because of that, it is that action that you're taking that is balancing out these karmic scales and that is making things right here. Okay, right, so let's take a look. What is this choices? If it's not you that's speaking out, Aquarius, then it's certainly you that is then going to be left with a choice, and you have to do something. Okay, because even if you choose to do nothing, that's still making a choice, and it's still going to have consequences, for better or for worse. The choices, yeah, if you take a look, Ten of Cups, it's not in the upright position, should we say. Your unhappiness, you finally speaking out on your dissatisfaction, your unhappiness, the ways of which you do not feel included within a certain group. That could be within a certain family, within a certain social circle. I'm not feeling within work, okay? Not unless you're doing something for your work that triggers a positive, usually triggers a positive emotional response from within you, okay? Not many people do enjoy what they do for a living, right? So I'm not really feeling that so much. This is emotional because it's Cups energy, right? Fair play, it could also be spiritual, because Cups energy is also spiritual. I'm feeling more to do with your feelings and your general dissatisfaction, your unhappiness, feeling like you're in a place where you don't belong, basically, and you actually speaking out on that, you discussing that, you doing something with it and about it. Okay, yeah, Two of Wands and the Hierophant, like recognizing that it can't continue any longer. Okay, I do get a distinct impression, Aquarius, that somebody has been disrespecting you to a certain degree. I just can't figure out if they're doing that obliviously or deliberately. Okay, there is disrespect here that's going on. And it's disrespect towards you, because it's affecting you on an emotional level. And with you ignoring it, who's it hurting, right? You see what I'm getting from this message here, Aquarius, is you maintaining your silence about your unhappiness for this long. In your head, it's like you were trying to tell yourself, oh, well, you know, I can't rock the boat. I need to keep the peace, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to upset them, so on and so forth. But the price you paid for that was your own inner peace. Was it a price worth paying? I'm seeing no. No, it wasn't a price worth paying at all, because that Ten of Cups coming out squiffy like that, it was practically in the reversed, indicates to me that to some extent you're still suffering. Right? That's the price of you saying nothing. That's the consequence of you saying nothing. Your own emotional suffering. It's not worth it, and it's not been worth it. And in fact, with you remaining silent, it's just continued on and on and on and on and on. Right? So it's time now for you to choose differently, and you know it. And you know as well that there's no getting out of it, because the Hierophant's right next to that Two of Wands. You know that saying nothing and doing nothing is no longer an option. Right? What's under there? The Page of Swords. Interesting. The card of the Detective at the bottom of the deck. I feel with this one that you've been making this assessment for a while. You've had the information for a while, but maybe didn't know what to do with it until now. What's in your blind spot? Another High Priestess. The High Priestess of Fire with this one. And this one says, creativity and passion, the ability to create your own reality. Spend your energy creatively and not impulsively. And that's in your blind spot. Okay. The ability to create your own reality. That's literally the Magician. It's literally Magician energy. Okay. Using your passion, your creativity, to create the life that you envision for yourself. And with that being fire energy, fire can be creative and it can be destructive at the same time, depending on how you use it. I'm getting this as a metaphor for your anger, right? And you, because it's in your blind spot, you're going to be using your anger and your frustration as a force of good rather than a force of destruction, because it is specific. It specifically says to use your creativity and your passions, the ability to create the life that you want. This is the life that you know that you deserve, right? So because it's in your blind spot, I'm getting the impression that you were always told or taught that anger was inherently bad. And guess what? It isn't. Taking action when you're angry, that's dumb. Like, don't do that. Because anger makes people stupid, makes people do a lot of mistakes. You're listening to it. You're listening to that anger because it's the parts of you that are reminding you that you deserve better treatment. And that's where you're using this intense emotion as a force of good. And that's how you're retaining your grace, your dignity. It's very, very wise. Can you tell us more about this High Priestess of Fire for Aquarius, please? Emperor, yeah. Taking hard control. I want to say with this Emperor as well, that this is you remembering your sovereignty. Okay, and the Nine of Cups. Beautiful. I mean, it's possible for a small handful of you Aquarians that in your blind spot you have someone who matches this Emperor energy, this divine masculine energy, who is confessing this love for you, and you are their wish fulfillment, and them letting you know that. For everyone else where that doesn't resonate, then this is going to be your own energy. And I feel that it's you being surprised at exactly how much and what you're capable of doing. Okay. Basically, we've got an emperor here who is determined to create their own wish fulfillment. Can you tell us more about this emperor and the Nine of Cups? Again, it just reinforces that you're using that fiery energy as a force for good. Yeah, speaking as a fiery energy, as a force for good, literally the sun. So you got the Six of Pentacles, the sun, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hermit. The Hermit is very, very wise. It's self-mastery is the word I'm looking for, and it's with the Nine of Pentacles, which is pre-Empress energy. Someone who's strong, determined, self-sufficient, someone who's mastered the art of self. Okay. Six of Pentacles and the Sun. Also in your blind spot is a lot of opportunities for growth. There's also a lot of opportunities here, not just for growth on a personal level, but also on a financial one. Okay. So if you're struggling at the moment financially, if you don't feel like you're financially secure, then there's an opportunity right around the corner where you can build this life of abundance and financial security for yourself, okay? And for those where this is simply about love, you know what I mean. If it's only about love for others, then there's an opportunity here for you to be with this person. Be with this person that you've been thinking of. Okay? Right, what is working against you at this point in time? Conclusions are working against you. Endings and beginnings. Make sure that you get all of the facts. Okay. So that would be the equivalent to it coming out in the reverse then. When it's something that's working against you, then it's more of its negative aspects. I'm getting with that one that you might have assumed that this situation was over, and it actually isn't. King of Pentacles. Okay. It's long-term stability, long-term growth, very protective energy. But what's that got to do with the conclusion? And the Seven of Pentacles. Oh. Someone believes that they were investing in the wrong things. That they were investing in the wrong... It could have been you, Aquarius. You might feel resentments towards other people where you felt like they were just wasting your time, where you felt like you just invested into the wrong people and that you spent so much time investing in the wrong people. Okay. Right, so that's why that energy is working against you. It's avoid feeling that resentment and that bitterness. Well, not avoid feeling it. Feel it, right? But don't stay in that place for too long. I think that's a better way of putting it, because obviously, you know, I don't want anyone to think I'm saying, oh, just ignore your feelings. No. You acknowledge your feelings, all of them, even the ones that make you feel uncomfortable. What you don't do, though, is you don't stay in that place, okay? You don't stay in those feelings. You process and work through those feelings. But this, see with this one basically being reversed, because it's a negative aspect. They're asking for you not to leave a chapter open for certain people who have been disrespecting you, okay? Can you tell us more about this energy for Aquarius? Yeah, the Hierophant reversed. It's going against the grain. That's literally going against... You're going to have to go against the grain. You're going to have to risk upsetting... Yeah, there's your major arcana there with the star. You're going to have to risk upsetting certain people. Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck. This is all working out for you. It's like things are being revealed to you this month, Aquarius, in the areas of which, or the people of which you were investing in that wasn't giving you any sort of return. Okay? Strength, the Star, and the Five of Wands. That's like being okay with temporarily being, quote unquote, the bad one. Okay? Remember what it is that you're playing for. You're playing for this. Fate, karma, destiny, things moving in the right direction. There's a fortunate turn of events here, Aquarius, that's working out in your favor. I feel like old chapters are closing for you, and you might feel tempted to try and retain them. You might feel tempted to reopen old chapters or hold on to old chapters that should have long ended, okay? So be okay with being seen as being the bad one, just temporarily. And then what's working for you, that's spooky. That's 3 times now. Look, it's 3 times. I'm sorry to say, for those who don't believe, right? That's fine. If you don't believe, you don't believe. But look, you started off with these 2. Black and a white swan, black and a white wing, and now you've got a black and a white cat. For some of you guys, there is twin flame energy all over you. All over you. So what's working for you is differences. You will not always agree with everybody and them with you. And that's okay. Different cultures, beliefs, or opinions, etc. Right? But then they're not fighting with each other. There's no argument there. Right? They can acknowledge that there's differences of opinions, different ways of doing things here. It's finding the common ground within the differences. 4 of Cups. Okay, so someone's afraid that they're going to be rejected because they are different. The way that they do things are different. You've got Death here as well. The Lovers. I feel that this is a situation, Aquarius, where your life and this other person's life have taken off in 2 entirely different directions here, and one of you is not happy. Yeah. So they're saying here that there is a common ground, there is a middle ground that can be found. Okay, and then you've got the 9 of Swords underneath that one, which is anxiety. So someone feels anxious. They feel anxious about the 6 of Pentacles. They feel anxious about wanting to give. What's this 2 of Pentacles for Aquarius? I mean, it's possible that there is new love that's coming in as well. Yeah, okay, so someone's getting ready to walk away from giving to a situation that's not working. High Priestess and the Page of Cups. I think you can feel that a situation's over here, Aquarius. You can definitely feel that a situation is ending. What's this 6 of Pentacles, and why is someone anxious about the 6 of Pentacles? 7 of Swords. Okay, deceit. Someone's anxious that they're going to be viewed upon as being deceitful. I don't know if that's you or someone else. 9 of Wands. Someone's anxious because there's a lack of trust here. There's a lack of trust. So either this person's hurt you or you've hurt them. Again, take it as it resonates. There's definitely hurt feelings and anxiety on both sides of the table. See that? Nine of Swords times 2. It's under there, the Sun. But someone's fears and worries are going to be resolved here. Like there's a person that's really worried that someone else is not going to accept them, maybe because they're of a different background, different culture, different religion. Someone's worried and concerned because there's no trust. What's this Death energy for Aquarius? Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So there's been slow and deliberate action here on someone's part. What's this? And the Chariot. Okay, and the Three of Cups. Right. I feel like someone is concerned about the opinions of others. Concerned that they're not going to be accepted by others. There's also a fear of change, like, because again, this is what's working for you. So the fact that someone's going through all of this is working for you. It's working in your favor. The fact that someone's been running, hiding, avoiding change for the longest time, and that's a battle that they're losing. And they clearly have feelings for you here with the Lovers. I feel like you have feelings for them too. Okay. Let's get some healing messages out. It's very strange. Oh, okay. Address your addictions. Someone's needing to address their addictions and make sure that their addictions or obsessions are not going to interfere. Bust out of your cocoon. Change tracks. Yes, someone needs to change their course that they're currently on here and face your shadow work. Yeah. I mean, if this is a twin flame situation, I highly suspect that for some of you guys it is going to pull up a lot of shadow work, because that's just what connections like that do. Okay, someone's realized now that they need to change course, that they need to make changes in their life here, but they're afraid of doing that. There's a lot of anxiety surrounding changing things up, even though it's necessary. That's what that whole going against the grain message was all about. Like there's no room here to be rigid. Hierophant reverse, there's no room to be rigid. You have to be flexible. Somebody needs to be flexible here. Live your life to its fullest potential. Let go of the need for approval from others. Live up to your own expectations and no one else's. No more selling yourself short. Keep moving forward. You've got this. And if something deep within you tells that something's not quite right, then trust it. If you're unhappy in your life, then change something. It's entirely up to you. Stop making excuses. You're in control of your own life. Yeah, Aquarius, I feel like you're about to give some home truths to whoever this is that's been disrespectful to you, and then through that it's given you the strength and the courage to pursue and create a life that you're genuinely happy with. Okay, because someone, according to this energy, somebody is living their life at the behest of others, and it's making them deeply dissatisfied, deeply unhappy. It's turning them into a person that they don't like, because somebody's becoming bitter. They're becoming bitter because they feel that they're stuck in a situation that they can't get out of, and ultimately they can get out of it. they can. It's just going to take work. But those scales are balancing out though. What else for Aquarius, please? There will be times where you feel tired, that you can't push forth any further, but you need to dig deep and pull that shit out of you to keep going. Yeah, Aquarius, you or they will find the strength and the courage and the energy from someplace, okay? Because when it means that much to a person, they will do anything and everything within their power to make sure that they succeed, okay? But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful and that it managed to reach those who really needed to hear the message at this time. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.